Welcome to Office 2010 Video Project 32. Hey, we're still doing Excel. We're still talking about number formatting, and we want to talk about percentages, percentage number formatting. The reason why we have a whole video on this is because there's 6 different situations that people run into, and sometimes it gets a little bit tricky. Now, it'll be helpful if we remind ourselves what in the world a percentage is. Now, the way it usually starts is we have a decimal, and this could be a tax rate, a commission rate, something like that. 0.03 for a tax rate or commission rate means, hey, for every 100 pennies, a dollar, for every 100 pennies we get 3 pennies. We either pay it in tax or get it in commission, right? But decimals sometimes are hard to look at, and so over the last couple hundred years, the percentage number format has evolved. Now, for most of us, we learn math in the era of calculators. So we might think that 3% is a number, but it's not. It's a formatted symbolic representation of this number. And here's the reason. When we learn this in school, there's always 2 steps, and even calculators and Excel use these 2 steps, and I'll prove to you in just a moment that it does. Here's step 1. You take the decimal times 100, and you get 3. As soon as you do that, is 3 equal to 0.03? The answer is no. That means, therefore, this is not a number. This is a symbolic representation of that, or a formatted symbolic. All right, and then so step 1, we get a 3, and step 2, we slap the percentage on. Right. The fact that most of us learn with calculators gets us into trouble, and we'll see some examples up here. But keep this in mind. All right, the first example situation, let's just type 0.03. We've actually already done this a few times in this class, and I'm going to Control 1 and apply percentage. There's the sample. There's the decimal. So we know this is what we see on the surface of the spreadsheet, but we know underneath is that number. Anytime a calculation is done, that number is used. Even if you go back and look at the sheet that we had here for the order of operations, one of the items within the list was behind the scenes, Excel will convert this to a decimal. Don't forget, even on a calculator, it doesn't use 3%, it uses 0.03. The second situation is, and this is where people get into trouble because they forget how this works. They're like, oh, yeah, I'm going to type a 3. And then they immediately apply the percentage format, and they might just come up here and go 300%. That actually is one of the most common mistakes on the planet Earth that people make in Excel. They thought that that 3 could be converted, but no way. See, Excel knows multiply by 100. What's 3 times 100? 300. And then add the symbol. So you want to avoid that like the plague. The next 2 situations are when we pre-format. And it seems to me there's an inconsistency here. But once we see it, we'll know that at least when we run into it, what it means. We're going to pre-format these. Control 1, percentage, 2 decimals. OK. Now watch this. We're going to type the number 3 in, just as we tried to do up here. 3. Because it's pre-formatted, that percentage symbol pops up. So it's telling us this is pre-formatted. This is going to get entered at 3%. Enter. Now, you can prove to yourself that we typed the number 3 in. But because it was pre-formatted, what do you think's in the cell underneath the number formatting? I'm going to Control-Shift-Tilde, which is a keyboard shortcut for general. That's what got put in the cell. That number is used in all calculations. Control-Z. But here's the oddity. When you type in 0.03, remember that's pre-formatted. I don't see the symbol pop up like it did when I typed in 3, but watch what happens when I hit Enter. So that's kind of an anomaly to look out for. If it's pre-formatted, it doesn't matter whether you type 3 or 0.03. Adding format as you type is actually convenient, because a lot of times you don't highlight and pre-format it. You just want to enter 1%, so you just go 3.00. Right now, if I hit Enter, I'll even prove it to you. 3. See? That's what got put in the cell. F2.00. But if I type a percentage symbol, forget it. All bets are off. I'm formatting as I type. The number that's going to go into the cell is 0.03. Right? And you can prove to yourself Control-Shift-Tilde. Control-Z. Finally, here's a big, just like typing the number 3 and then formatting, here's another big problem that you see in the working world. People enter a decimal like 0.025. and they click the ribbon. And what happens? That is program. Well, first off, what do they do? I entered 2.5 and now it's 3%. All my calculations are going to be off. No problem. This is just formatting. That's just on the surface of the spreadsheet. Actually, you can see up here that 2.5% is up in the formula bar, so we know it's really what? A formatting problem. Increase the decimals, and this problem goes away. By the way, if you do your calculation equals 100 times this, what do you think it's going to be? It's going to be 30 or 25? It's 25, or 2.5, sorry. And the reason why is because formulas don't look at the surface number formatting. They look at the thing underneath. But we want to fix this, so we simply increase the decimals. All right, percentage number format. You've seen all 6 situations. So now you can be the hero at any job, because guaranteed a business that has 300 employees, at least 1 or 2 times or every day someone makes this mistake or this mistake. And you'll just be able to come over and go, I can help you with that. All right, we'll see you next video. Oh, no, homework. There's your homework. Remember, this is that 2-week period where we're just doing videos in the Excel is Fun book. 1, 2, 3, 4, just to remind you kind of a summary of what we've been talking about, number formatting. The next video will be all about chart and chart types. All right, see you next video.